Man, this story is nuts, man. It goes to show you that people get emotional over disagreements. Like this story right here, it says dad shot daughter after arguing about Donald Trump. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know. It sure doesn't make any sense, but let's go along with it. It said a British woman who was shot dead by her father while visiting his home in Texas had argued with him about U.S. President Donald Trump earlier that day, and inquest has heard. Lucy Harrison from Warrington in Cheshire was shot in the chest on Tuesday. On Tuesday, January 10th, 2025, in Prosper near Dallas. Police in the town investigated 23-year-old's death as possible manslaughter, but no criminal case was brought against Chris Harrison after a grand jury in Collin County declined to indict him. Interesting. An inquest into Lucy Harrison's death opened earlier at Cheshire Coroner's Court, where her boyfriend Sam Lister described the big argument about Trump, who was preparing to be inaugurated for his second term of office. Littler, who traveled to the U.S. with Lucy Harrison for the holidays, said she would often become upset with her father when he spoke about owning a gun. Well, when it comes to fathers, when it comes to children, talking to their parents about owning a gun, that's not going to go well because the dad typically he's going to own a gun whether they agree with him or not. That's what he's going to do. That's what's going to happen. Anyway, the inquisitor also heard how Chris Harrison, who moved to the United States when his daughter was a child, had previously been to rehab for alcohol addiction. That's where it stems from. He must have been a raging alcoholic. I don't know whether or not he's sober right now, but he was an alcoholic, man. Chris Harrison, who did not attend the inquest, admitted in a statement sent to the court that he had relapsed on the day of the shooting and had drunk about 500 milliliters of white wine. See what I tell you about drunks, man? They pick the bottle over their children. That's why I don't hang out with people that are alcoholics, man. Sorry, not sorry. I do not trust those people, especially when they're behind the wheel, and when they consume a lot of alcohol. They tend to do not only stupid things, but stupid things that lead to death. Lillard said on the morning of January 10th, his partner had asked her father during the Trump row, "How would you feel if I was a girl in the situation and I had been sexually assaulted?" Chris Harrison had replied that he had two other daughters who lived with him, so it wouldn't. Wow. What? Well, kid, I got two other daughters, and they seem to not mind that much. I mean, if you been there saying, "Who cares? I got two other daughters." So I'm guessing that's the liquor talking, but even if it was, why would anybody say that about their own kid? I mean, something's wrong with this guy. And something's wrong with the justice system if they haven't indicted him with this. Little said Lucy became quite upset and ran upstairs. She ran upstairs. He told the court later that day, about half an hour before they were due to leave to go to the airport. Lucy had been in the kitchen when her father took her by the hand and led her into his ground floor bedroom. Lewis said he heard a loud bang about 15 seconds later, and then Chris Harrison screamed for his wife, Heather. This guy is sick, man. I mean, I don't care if he wasn't indicted yet, but something should happen. I mean, some consequences is in order. You know what I mean? Lewis said, I remember running into the room and Lucy was lying on the floor near the entrance to the bathroom and Chris was just screaming. Just sort of nonsense. The statement from Chris Harrison said he and his daughter had been watching the news item on gun crime when he told her he had a gun and asked her if she wanted to see it. Oh, wow. Then they went into the bedroom so he could show her a Glock 9mm semi-automatic handgun, which he kept in the bedside cabinet. Alcoholics and murder weapons do not mix, y'all. They should not go together, but yep, he relapsed and he had his toolie with him. Harrison said he had bought the gun a couple of years before because he wanted a sense of security for his family. Sure, you want a sense of security for your family, but your daughter wasn't a threat to you. You just couldn't help yourself, sir. He did not ever discuss it with his daughter before. He said, as I lifted the gun to show her, I suddenly heard a loud bang. I did not understand what had happened. Lucy immediately fell. Harrison said he could not recall whether his finger was on the trigger. Oh, of course he couldn't. Yeah, of course he's going to tell the court that. Well, I have no recollection of squeezing the trigger towards my daughter. I don't remember that. He acknowledged he had issues with alcohol in the past and said he briefly lapsed, on the day of his daughter's death because he was emotional about her. This dude's a piece of shit, man. The inquest heard police officer Luciana Escalera, whose evidence was read, noticed the smell of alcohol on Harrison's breath when he was called to the house after the shooting. CCTV footage showed he had bought two 500 ml cartons of Chardonnay from a 7-Eleven shortly before 13 CST. That's 5. I guess that's 5 GMT the day of. Anna Samuels representing Chris Harrison made an application at the start of the hearing for coroner Jacqueline Devonish to recuse her, from the case, saying a fair-minded observer may conclude there was a real possibility she was biased. She said the inquest had been conducted in a manner more akin to a criminal investigation than a fact-finding inquiry. Lois Norris, representing Lucy Harrison's mother, Jane Coates, said the application was an ambush by Mr. Harrison's legal team. She said Chris Harrison was the person in a room who shot Miss Harrison and the only person in the room when it happened. Devonish refused the application to recuse herself. In a statement issued by his solicitors, Chris Harrison said he fully accepted the consequences of his actions, which was none, come to find out. There isn't a day I don't feel the weight of that loss. A weight I will carry for the rest of my life, he said. Cole said her daughter, who worked as a buyer for fashion brand Boohoo, was a real force of life. She said she cared. She was passionate about things. She loved to have debates about things that meant a lot to her. Well, I guess the debate about the president meant a little something to her, but the dad didn't like it, so he couldn't control his emotions, and he unalived his daughter. The inquest was adjourned until Wednesday, when the coroner is expected to deliver her conclusion. And yeah, that's the story. So her father unalived her because she disagreed with him in terms of owning a weapon and about the president. And he was a raving alcoholic. I don't care what anybody said. He relapsed. Like I said earlier, you can't trust people that consume a lot of alcohol. Sorry, not sorry, man. Y'all tell me what you think about this sad story. And should this guy, I know he wasn't a diver, but should he be charged with murder? I think he should, but y'all let me know. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.